Once upon a time there was nature. Then man came and he thought that nature was wild, and so he wanted to tame it and to dominate it and make an ordered society. To do this, man also had to tame other men, and he had to control his own nature. That took a long time, and it was not easy. But then, at last, one day, self-controlled man found himself sitting in the midst of the half-tamed city jungle, dreaming about being wild in the wild nature which he thought he had tamed and lost.
Oh, yes, I'm the great pretender, pretending that I'm doing well. My need is such, I pretend too much. I'm lonely, but no one can tell. Oh, yes, I'm the great pretender.
Man liked wild nature, he said. He talked a lot about how nice it was to take a walk in the woods or along the beach. It's very important for the children, man said. And so all of the adults did take a walk in the wood or along the beach or in the countryside or just in the park. They spent as much as 10 minutes every day doing this. And they spent 2.5 hours every day watching the television. Because you see, there was so much nature on the television that, well, to tell the truth, that was how they preferred it. Now, on the television, man said to the other men that now they all had to take good care of nature.
The environment is important,
They said.
sustainable development is frightfully important.
All the politicians said. And they said sustainable development and biodiversity so often that they nearly turned green. But no one knew what it actually meant, all that sustainability and biodiversity. They didn't admit that. They just said that sustainability and biodiversity were good for the environment and for agriculture and for the employment situation and for the export industries and for Europe as well. One should take better care of nature, they said, as if they weren't part of it themselves. They all had bodies, of course, but man did not really like his own body. He always wanted to change it or to hide it, and sometimes he wanted to kill it. Though of course man would never admit that because it isn't very nice to kill yourself. No animal would ever do a thing like that, but man did it all the time, and most of them did it a little bit every day. You see, they had some horrifying weapons. They had a knife and a fork, and they used them to shove into their mouths all sorts of things which they knew were harmful. And they also knew that it was unhealthy to smoke tobacco or to drink coffee or alcohol and to sit still all day. And they suffered from a thing called stress. And they knew that this was unhealthy too. And that it was unhealthy to worry about being so unhealthy. Now the men invented some little mumbling machines so that they could sit in their separate little cars talking to each other about how busy they were. Because now they had to go to the health food shop to buy something healthy. And then they had to go to the gym. And then they had to buy some sweets for the kids and something nice for themselves. And that was allowed when they had to use so much energy to keep themselves fit.
Yes, I'm the great pretender, adrift in a world of my own. I play the game, but to my real shame, you've left me to dream
You see, man did not really believe that he was nature too. Man did not like to think he had a body that could fall ill, and which eventually turned old and died. That was much too close for him. Nature should not be inside man, he thought. Man wanted nature to be something outside, something that didn't change. I care a lot about animals, man said, as though he wasn't an animal himself. You see, man liked to watch animals, and to stroke them, and to eat them. But it wasn't right to eat the animals he stroked, and it wasn't right to stroke the animals he was going to eat. That was too messy, man thought. Sometimes he said it was unethical, and he thought that was a very good word. Well, it all started when man got this idea to divide the animals into 3 groups: wild animals, farm animals, and pets. Wild animals were things like deer, leaping and playing in the forest. They were nice to watch and good to eat when they were really wild. But when they were taken and put inside a fence or confined in a barn, man thought it was somehow in poor taste. But the hens and the pigs and the other farm animals, they could be locked up. That was only natural, and man didn't want to know if they were all right, and he certainly didn't want to see pictures of them while he was eating. It wasn't very nice to eat farm animals, but it was cheap. And the cheapest bits were the inner organs. But if an inner organ from a farm animal was used to replace a person's diseased organ, then man would not even consider eating that organ afterwards. The pets, the really tame animals that man thought were most like him, the dogs, the cats, the canaries, the guinea pigs, it would be unnatural to eat them, man thought. He liked to have them around, and sometimes he spent as much time on his pets as on his own children, as much as 10 minutes a day. It was so nice to look at animals. It was also nice to look at children. Animals and children were so wonderfully alive, it was a joy to look at them, and man generally enjoyed looking at life. Man also enjoyed looking at everything green, as long as it was some way away, when nature was something in front of man at a proper distance, like a landscape, which had always been there and anyway looked authentic and primeval. Then man felt safe. So man put up benches where he could sit and have a good view of the landscape while he was enjoying an ice cream or a beer or a cigarette. He would watch landscapes as they flickered past the windows of his car. This was almost as much fun as watching a nature program on television. He would put pictures of views and landscapes on the walls inside his house. Nature was so nice, man thought, when it was framed and at a proper distance. You see, man did not like to think he was responsible for some of the changes to the landscapes. But they were man-made landscapes he was looking at and picnicking in at the weekends. Landscapes like peat bogs and forests, heathlands, disused railway lines and gravel pits. Man liked to think he was on an outing in the wilderness. He was actually in an historical landscape of his own making. He thought history was something that was over and done with, something he could leave behind him like waste. But all the time, he was stepping in his own historical waste. Well, the man thought it was much too difficult to understand how his own body, his own thought and his good judgment could be both nature and history.
Nature is not to be created, it is to be preserved,
he said. Man wanted nature to stay just as it was and to be outside him, and he wanted history to be behind him, because then it was easier to control everything. Then man could dominate everything, and he would have time to be free and natural and happy.
But just laughing and gay like a clown, I seem to be what I'm not. You see, I'm wearing my heart like a crown, pretending that you're still around.
Once upon a time there was nature. Then man came and he thought that nature was wild, and so he wanted to tame it and to dominate it and make an ordered society. To do this, man also had to tame other men, and he had to control his own nature. That took a long time, and it was not easy. But then, at last, one day, self-controlled man found himself sitting in the midst of the half-tamed city jungle, dreaming about being wild in the wild nature which he thought he had tamed and lost. Don't worry, that's all a long time ago.
Pretending that you're still